I remember entering a beauty supply shop at 4 years old and eyeing a Just For Me home relaxer box with a picture of a black girl about my age. She looked just like me, except her hair was silky straight. Please, please buy this for me, I begged my grandmother, and eventually she did. Despite the burn of chemicals on my scalp and the smell of sulfur that filled the room, I was entranced at the prospect of having straight hair. It was beautiful, it was celebrated, and I, with my kinky coils, felt inadequate. Over the years, I spent thousands of dollars at salons getting my hair relaxed and straightened, and thousands more on weaves and extensions to make my hair appear fuller and longer. I didn't realize it then, but I was gripped by insecurity at the tender age of 4, and it stayed with me into adulthood.
Welcome back to Arise Entertainment 360. Now, we just saw the beautiful Ebonee on screen, and in the world of supermodels, it only takes one to change the narrative on how society perceives what's beautiful.
That's right, and our next guest has taken the fashion industry by storm, one campaign at a time. Ebonee Davis, welcome to Arise 360.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That was a powerful speech we saw you giving there at the TED Talk. But, you know, we're not used to seeing a lot of models with just natural hair, and you've been able to conquer the industry with your natural hair. Talk to us more about that and that journey you had to go on.
So when I started in the industry, I was straightening my hair, I wore extensions, and I was told by my agency that going natural, having natural hair wouldn't work. I would lose the clients that I had, and I just wouldn't be as successful. But going natural is something that I wanted to do. It was part of finding my identity, finding who I am authentically outside of, people telling me who I should be and what I should be. So I stuck with it, and a couple weeks after going natural, I booked the Calvin Klein campaign that really, really changed the trajectory of my career.
Wow. Really? Yeah. Would you say that going natural had anything to do with you booking that campaign? Do you think they wanted someone that looked diverse, or do you think it was a bit of a hindrance?
I think it absolutely had everything to do with me booking the campaign. I think they just wanted people who were really being authentic and true to themselves, and I think Calvin Klein was kind of branding themselves in a way where they wanted to bring just everyday people into the mix and not have that cookie cutter mold and that model type and just regular people. And so being my authentic self and presenting myself that way definitely had positive benefits for me in booking that campaign.
That's amazing.
Do you think it has also affected the industry, and now having such a huge campaign as a natural hairstyle person, do you think that it has encouraged others to go natural, or the other campaigns to employ people that have natural hair?
Absolutely. It's crazy. I've seen a huge shift in the industry within the last year and a half. The natural hair movement is big in the industry, outside of the industry. I think we just see more and more women really embracing that, and part of that is from the Calvin Klein campaign, part of that is from the TED Talk I did. I think waves are being created and people are really responding.
Wow. Yeah. Now, you were the only African-American selected to grace the cover of Sports Illustrated. You were chosen as Sports Illustrated Rookie of the Year. Is that correct?
I wasn't on the cover. I was, but
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I was rookie this year, yes.
How did that major achievement make you feel?
It made me feel great. There were a couple other African-American women in the magazine, but being in it, having my natural hair, and just coming back to the magazine this year after having been in it in 2016 with my hair straightened and with the extensions, and not really feeling as confident and as true to myself as I do now, just felt like such a major achievement to be welcomed back after having this message and after having spoken up about my mistreatment as a model in the industry. It definitely felt like a full circle moment where I was like, I'm on the right path, and doors will open up once you decide to be authentic and to stick with who you are and follow your purpose.
So was it scary at first? Because so many people have to conform to the industry standard of this is what is beautiful, this is what they want, this is what they're looking for.
Naomi Campbell talking about her alopecia being from wearing so many weaves back in the 90s.
Right. It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying, and the thing that really got me through it only is my faith in God and my faith in believing that I have a bigger purpose, and it's bigger than me. It's bigger than it's not just about Ebonee, it's about a movement, it's about changing the way that we look at ourselves, it's about finding our identity outside of the colonial mindset and the mindset that says we have to present ourselves a certain way, or even just in our society where it's like we have such a narrow definition of beauty that we have to fit inside of this cookie cutter mold, and it's really about breaking outside of that and finding who you are, what makes you unique, what makes you special.
And what has it done for your personality, for your confidence? How does it make you feel?
It's done wonders. You know, I feel like a completely new person. I feel like my soul and my spirit has been restored. I feel like our spirit is taken out of us as human beings, and as we're raised in this society, and we're sort of, you know, put into these boxes, and we're given limits and labels. It started with my hair, but it's so much bigger. It's me as a person. It's all of the things that I tucked away in my subconscious or hid from the world because I thought they weren't acceptable, or because I thought I wasn't good enough. And so I'm just such I'm a full person, you know. I'm so much more dynamic.
Amazing.
I'm so much
I feel
bigger.
inspired.
Yeah, totally.
Now, it's incredible because you mentioned, you know, inspiration and purpose a lot, and clearly you found your calling.
Yes.
But what sort of backlash have you faced from the industry? Because I can't imagine it's been an easy road.
Yeah, it hasn't been an easy road. In the beginning, it was more difficult. It was, you know, you've already made it. You're already successful. Why are you speaking up? Why are you taking a stand? Your job is to just be beautiful and you know, look pretty, and you don't need to have a voice. And I think now, as things are changing, it's becoming easier, and we're starting to see more people in the entertainment industry take a stand, and it's almost a prerequisite to be within the industry and to have some type of voice. I think people are really craving that realness right now, and it's like, if I'm gonna give you my coins or put you on a pedestal or look up to you, then you need to be doing something for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my question now with regards to the fashion industry is, how hopeful are you that you or anybody else, any other model of color, can grace a magazine cover with your natural hair? Because it's one thing for you to be put in campaigns,
right,
but to grace a cover, being that British Vogue has only had 2 African American or black models on its cover since its inception. Do you think that it's a possibility, a reality?
Yeah, I think it's so real, and I think it's going to happen soon. I don't think it's, I have so much faith and belief in the movement that's happening right now. I think there's just so much energy behind this, and I think, like, not far in the future.
Okay, I like it.
I like your optimism, but you know, when we go to Fashion Week, we still are seeing a lot of color and diversity on the runway.
Absolutely.
What is it going to take to get to the point where we're not having to say, oh, we have our token, you know, black person or Asian person or what have you, to bring more color to the runway?
I think it's going to take more models speaking up. I think it's going to take casting directors getting behind this movement, designers getting behind this movement, and people just realizing, you know, it's so important for people outside of the industry to see themselves represented. You know, when you don't see yourself represented, you have low self-esteem. You feel like you're not good enough. You know, you feel like there's something wrong with you. And I feel like within the industry, we just have to become more open-minded, more accepting, and just realize how important it is in the impact and responsibility that we have.
Absolutely. And speaking of responsibility, you are incredibly active on social media.
Thank you.
Effectively being my unborn daughter's greatest role model. I mean, your tweets are legendary. We screenshot them and post them as our own Instagram captions now. Where did you gain this sense of purpose from? Because you're quite young, and you speak as though you've been around a few times. I mean, you've been around the world. Let's just clear that up. But no, it's amazing to read and to watch. Where does this come from?
I think my soul has been here a few times on this earth, but yeah, I think it really comes from my own self-exploration. Like I said, it started with hair, but it really went into me unpacking all of these things, you know, habits that I had learned from my parents, behaviors I had learned from my parents, habits I had learned from society, and you just become this lesser version of yourself that's, you know, this boxed-in version of yourself, and, you know, all of your patterns are messed up, and I think I just had to get in tune with who I am and becoming the best version of myself that I could be, disciplining myself and loving myself enough so that I could become the best version of myself, and really getting in tune with the evolutionary pulse of the world. And I think when you get in tune with that pulse, there's just a wisdom that comes with that. And you know, I just want to share that with the world.
Shannon's staring at you in awe. He's like,
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. We're going to discuss this a little bit more after the break. break. Okay? So we're going to stay with Ebonee Davis. Stay tuned. We're coming up shortly.
Welcome back to Rise 360. We're still joined by the amazing model and TED Talk expert and visionary. Ebonee Davis. She does it all, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. You are exceptionally talented. I think I praised you enough. I mean, let's be very honest about this. We met at the Essence Fest.
Yes.
We met again at the International Women of Power. Oh, I have words of praise only for you. You're exceptional. Now, I want to just talk briefly about your Ankara dress.
Yes.
Because we are a pro-African station here.
Yes.
I love it. Talk to me about the inspiration, Ms. Wakanda.
Oh, yeah. exactly. It's Wakanda forever. You know, I picked the fabric for this dress and I picked the design for it. I was meant to wear it to the International Women of Power luncheon, and I just decided that this would be the perfect time to wear it. I don't know my African ancestry, so I want to do 23andMe or AfricanAncestry.com to figure out, you know, where I'm from.
I would like to claim you as a Nigerian, but I would say that you're probably Gabonese.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I
so
might be a little
West
Nigerian.
African, but you want to come over to the Nigerian
Yeah,
side.
I do.
Let me tell you,
you
our jollof rice is popping.
Okay. I'm coming for dinner. Okay.
We're going to discuss those to the plan. Thank you so much for joining us, Ebonee.
Thank you.
Continued success.
Thank you so much.
All right. Rise 360. We'll be right back.